Hi, this is Vasha, and today we're going to be talking about why motivation is a myth, why it is not real. Firstly, we are going to talk about how motivation is just an excuse. Secondly, we are going to talk about why you should identify the reason behind why you procrastinate. Third, we are going to talk about why you should break down your long term goals. Fourth, we are going to talk about why you should keep a checklist. And finally, we are going to talk about why you should choose a friend. Just to finish off, we will talk about how you should mix things up in studying just so it's not boring. Side note, timestamps are in the description. Firstly, we're going to talk about why motivation is an excuse, really. Well, in our lives, we really feel like doing so many things, but we always just think of excuses. The reality is that motivation is just an excuse. It is your choice not to do something. It is your choice not to study. It is your choice not to complete tasks which you feel like you should do. It is your choice not to maybe just move forward in life or start a new business or do is for anything really. Motivation is just an excuse. And once you accept that mindset, everything which was impossible will now seem possible because it is a choice, really. If you want to make time for something, you will make time for it. If you say that you're busy, that does not really mean that you are busy, it just means you choose not to make time for it. So when you have that mentality, you will just feel like you're in control of everything, which is the truth. You are in control of everything that you do, and there is nothing stopping you from achieving your goals, not even yourself. The concept of self discipline is so important to tackle this feeling of, oh, I'm not motivated enough. The, what that means is just try to create a lifestyle for yourself in which you just wake up at the same time every day, in which you have set times where you work, in which you just put your phone away. How hard is it to scroll through Instagram compared to just holding the power button of your phone just to turn it off? Which one's harder now, you tell me? But which one do we actually make excuses for when we have to study? Turning off our phone, right? Even though the other tasks require more energy. So just build self-discipline. You know that you can just do something if you want to do it. If you want to turn off your phone, if you want to study, you will do it. So do not just make excuses by saying that you will not, you don't know how to do it, you don't know what to do. Just just do it. Just switch off your phone, just delete the YouTube app if it's disturbing you. Do not watch me, just delete the YouTube app. Delete games off your phone if you feel like that's distracting you. If it's not your phone, if it's your family members, go to a library. Obviously it's not applicable in the current situation, but generally you would have that option, right? There are so many 24-hour libraries open. There's really no excuse for you just not doing anything that you want to do. And if there is a reason why you make up in your brain, that is just because you just genuinely do not want to do it. So just choose the lifestyle of being self-disciplined. Say no to yourself when you have urges. Say no to yourself when you want to watch a movie. Just say no to yourself when you want to stop working early and you want to just go to bed. Say no to yourself when you want to take a nap. Just say no to yourself. It's not that hard. If you have any urge, just refuse and fight against your own brain choosing to do easier things. We always want to do the easier stuff in life, but now it's time to actually make what you need to do the easiest. So just say no to yourself whenever you feel like you're getting distracted. Just put everything away which distracts you, at least for a certain period of time. Then you can use whatever you find enjoyment in as a reward. You can watch YouTube later. You can watch a movie later. You do not have to just study, but there has to be certain periods of time during the day when you study, because that is what discipline is called. Identify the reason why you procrastinate, and that's just when you will stop. So if it's your phone sending you notifications, for example WhatsApp or Instagram, and you just click on them the moment they come, that is ruling your life. That is you choosing that over choosing your actual priorities of the day and completing the tasks that you want to do. However, if you have that self-discipline already to just not click on the notification, to not click on the message, or to not click on the Instagram notification, then that is self-discipline already built within you. Then you just need to keep that up. However, if you feel like you just do not, you can't resist the urge to check your phone every now and then and stuff like that, switch off all your YouTube notifications off. So switch off all your subscription notifications. Whoever's uploaded a new video, whoever's done whatever they want to do, you will just check that out in your free time whenever your scheduled time is to actually reward yourself. That is when you will check YouTube by manually actually clicking on the app, not according to someone else's time or someone else's clock when they decide to upload. That is not your life, that is their life, and your phone should not be controlled by what other people are putting out. So just make sure you have a choice over when you click over certain things on your phone. So if that is the reason why you cannot study, then switch off all the notifications for YouTube, mute everyone's chat on WhatsApp, even if it's just during exam period, or even if it's just running up to exam period. But then eventually you will start building up that self-discipline. And once you do build up that self-discipline that you will not touch your phone whilst you're studying, and then you can turn all your notifications back on. But if you feel like your phone is the main reason for your distraction, it is very, very easy to do that. We all know how to do that in settings. So just do it. There's not really an excuse. You can just do it. Break down your long-term goals into shorter goals. So what that means is that when we always have a really, really big goal, for example, in first year of university, you have 300 lectures or something like that, you just get scared by the size of that amount. And then you realize that, oh, maybe I shouldn't even get started because there's no point. I might not even finish. Or if you have a certain number of classes in GCSE or A level, that you have these number of lessons and they seem like too many, that's just, it just scares a human that there's that much to do, and that just puts you off from beginning for a really, really long period of time. It just puts you off from even starting that task. So just break it down. If you have 300 lectures, that kind of makes sense for you to do maybe 10 a week until you finish. So you just have to break it down and then set down a short-term target. For example, in 1 week, in every week I should finish this much amount of work, or every week I should be up to date with this. So then that will help you stick to those goals. They seem more achievable, and you'll just feel like actually doing them more because you're breaking them down into short-term achievements and short-term challenges for yourself, instead of a really, really big challenge which seems impossible in the far distant future. Keep a daily checklist, and I mean it, daily, not weekly, not monthly. Keep a daily one as well. You can keep a monthly checklist or whatever works best for you, but a daily checklist, that satisfaction of actually ticking off something in green when you finish it during that day before you go to sleep, that is something else. If you haven't experienced it already, having those small amounts of goals that you can achieve on a daily basis, it just really keeps you up to date, on pace with everything that you need to cover. So that's a really, really good idea, I think. It's actually worked for me. So also, it's just that do not count what you've done in the day by the number of hours that you've done, because you might purposely in your brain just do it more slowly just to make yourself feel like you've done much work when you actually haven't, when you've actually spent 5 hours doing one topic when that could have actually been done in 2 hours. So that is not what you should really do. It is just easier to keep a daily checklist, and I feel like it's just a reward in a sense. However you want to do that, if you want to write it down on paper, if you want to use Microsoft To Do, which is a really good to-do list app which I use every day, there are so many ways to actually do it. You can have a checklist on spreadsheet, Excel, so you can color in a box green whenever you want to finish something. It's just the satisfaction of doing something every day and allocating yourself tasks every day to make yourself feel like that you're actually going ahead with things, not just that you're doing 10 hours of work a day when you've actually only done 2 classes or when you've only done 2 lectures. So do not count yourself by the number of hours you've done. That is not representative of how much work you've actually completed. Just count yourself by the number of tasks you've done, by what you need to complete, whether that's classes, whether that's lectures, or whatever it is, really. Choose a friend, and by that I mean just one friend, not a group of friends, but choose one specific friend who you can check how much they're up to date with their revision or how much they're up to date with their work, just from time to time, maybe every week or so, maybe every few days. If you talk every day, then that's even better because it's just nice to have that companionship. I feel like we do things better when we do it as a team. It's not as a team, we're still doing our individual tasks, but if we check on someone and keep an eye on and tell them to keep an eye on ourselves, that just helps us to keep up to date because we know that there's somebody who is keeping an eye on what we're doing. Not in that sense, but in the sense that it just helps you feel happier that, oh, we're doing it together, we're actually both trying our best to complete this many tasks or this many lectures in a specific amount of time. So it's just useful to have that one specific friend. I'm sure your friend won't mind, and I'm sure they will actually feel like it will really, really help them as well. It's a two-way thing. It will help them, and you will also be helped by that whole idea of supporting each other. Finally, mix your learning style up. So your main reason might just be it's just so boring. You just don't feel like doing it because it's just so boring and it's just so strenuous and you just really, really can't be bothered. That is a, a very good that is kind of a valid reason why you might not be wanting to do work. So that is why you might actually just not feel like studying in general, or even if you put your phone away, you just won't be focused for a long period of time because you've not made it fun enough for yourself. Obviously, it can't be fun in the sense that it just cannot be fun. Studying is not fun for anyone, but if you mix it up with different activities, so if you watch a YouTube video on that specific subject for 15-20 minutes and then mix it up by reading for 15-20 minutes and then do questions for the rest of the time for about an hour, then you will not feel bored because you will have that variety. You will feel like you've done work for a less period of time than you actually have because you won't really notice that time has gone because you've done so many different things. And time will fly quickly in that way because you will keep engaged with the content and it will just not get as boring as fast instead if you do reading just for 3 hours, which is very, very passive indeed, or if you just do flashcards for 4 hours straight. So just mix up your learning style. A few ideas of how you can mix up your learning style is by doing audio recordings of yourself and just speaking to yourself, by teaching yourself, by making short videos on specific topics for yourself, by using a whiteboard and a pen, then using paper and a pen. That is also a different learning style. Even though it's the exact same thing you're doing, you're answering questions, but you're answering questions on a different thing. For example, a whiteboard instead of a paper. It seems like a very minor thing, but it will keep your brain engrossed in the activity. It will make your brain feel like you're doing something different and you will not lose your focus. You will not get distracted. I hope those tips were useful for you. If you just don't feel like doing something, just begin. You can do it. You're just making an excuse for yourself not to do something. And if there is a reason behind it, solve that reason. For example, if you're actually just bored of what you're learning, find YouTube videos on it, find resources online which make you feel engrossed with the whole topic. And it will just make you feel like doing things better. You can really do something if you really want to achieve it. Never doubt yourself. You can always do really, really well if you just put in the effort and try and put all your distractions away for a certain period of time. And then you can use those very distractions as rewards later on. Distractions can be a really, really amazing reward in the end. And then you won't feel guilty about procrastinating at the end of the day because it won't be procrastination. You would have earned it. You would have earned watching a YouTube video. You would have earned watching TV with your family. You would have earned all those things which you felt bad about doing previously. Thank you for watching the YouTube video. Please like and subscribe and share. Thank you.